got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. All that and more coming up next.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Tonight we've got a good AFC matchup on tap, as it will be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. Brandon Gaughan and Charles Davis back with you. And Charles, for years, a trip to Foxborough quite often led to a loss for opposing teams. But the Patriots have been, in essence, a 500 team since the departure of TB12 3 years ago.
And things have switched because they are a defense-led team, and that's what's kept them in most games. Their key, can they get more explosive on offense and truly establish who their QB1 is?
Meanwhile, for the visiting Dolphins, we know about the weapons on offense on the perimeter. But do you think this is a team, Charles, that needs to step it up defensively to go to the next level?
I do, and they have the pieces in place. They have excellent players. Perhaps the new system that's been brought in will give them that edge that they need in the AFC East.
The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Injuries overshadowed a great season from Tua last season. He led a Miami passing game that was one of the best in the league, and even more importantly, took them to the postseason for the first time in 6 years. That jump they were looking for from him, it absolutely occurred.
Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it. There's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding them to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. The kick by Sanders is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Patriots offense set to go to work with Mac Jones at quarterback in his 3rd season now out of Alabama.
It was a much rockier season for Jones in his 2nd year, and even had to survive a brief challenge to his starting job. It was a big campaign for the former Rookie of the Year runner-up. He wants to get back to Pro Bowl form in this one.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10, right at the 30. 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Here's Ramondre Stevenson. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing Jones. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Juwan Bentley was the one who found his way through and finished off that play.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second down. Here's Mostert again. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Open man is chosen. He's got him. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. And it's caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Durham Smythe, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins add 6 to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Marcus Jones, a return man. Now Jones. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Back to Stevenson on first down. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 7.
Now Jones. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
To throw on third down, Jones.
He'll dump this down to Stevenson.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. Down to about the 45.
Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Operating from the gun. Jones. Past the 20. Down to the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
45 yards.
And the Patriots have cut it back within a score.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Nick Folk for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On second down, Mostert. Dancing away at the 35. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? the nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
On first down, they go with Mostert again.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from one 46 to the other on a pickup of 8. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Well, he pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. And they were right in that gray area on the edge of long field goal range, maybe too short to punt it. So the defense probably was expecting this was a possibility.
They should have been, and in most cases, what you do on defense is you go to what they call punt safe. In other words, you leave your defense on the field, prepare for them to possibly go for it, and then you just have a little bit different responsibilities. You're not really trying to get a big return. You just want to make sure you get the ball back. But they fell asleep at the switch.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. Touchdown! Raheem Mostert, 25 yards for the touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Another go-around now for the Patriot offense. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough To keep that up when you've just watched your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. And this one is incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have the Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Off play action. Jones. Short pass caught by Henry. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you.
And this is called touchdown, Patriots. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Pats get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now Folk for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. through the air first. Maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
So
all right, BJ, thanks very much.
And welcome
separating these two teams at the break.
New
downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break. Our two teams making their final preparations for the second half. And as they do, we send it back out to Foxborough, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. And with that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Straight ahead at Stevenson.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
The Folks' kick is good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Pushes past him, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. The short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Tua. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Tua now on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Once again, it's Mostert. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown, but no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. New England's offense set to go. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
It's Stevenson with a run to begin the drive.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down. Here we go. This is 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Stevenson. And he is going to pick up a Patriots 1st down. They only needed 1, but it ends up being a gain of 6 and moves the chains. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain.
Oh, he fakes the spike. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
To throw is Jones.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Jones. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's 1st and 10. Jones. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Jones.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime.
Folks' kick is good.
And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. I'll tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25.
And here comes Raheem Mostert and the Miami offense.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. Here's Tua. And that's complete to Croft.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And I think their defensively, they were so intent on stopping the run that they kind of got caught out of position. This is just a simple pitch and catch for a first down.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Tua.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Patriots who will have first crack at it as we're back underway here in overtime. Jones now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. New England trying to get a place on offense. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Stevenson gets it again on second down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Jones, first throw of overtime here. Hitting Juju on the slant.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Able to avoid him. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
103 yards on the ground so far for Stevenson, and a first down.
Well, that last one makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They run once more with Stevenson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. That's one of those pivotal plays that'll just stick out in everybody's mind from this game. If he picks that off, what a momentum swing down here in the end zone.
And he did his job. He knocked the ball away. But it does feel like a letdown for him and his teammates, doesn't it? A chance to intercept it, turn it back over to his offense with a chance to win the game.
So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. First throw of the OT session for Tua. And his throw is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Open net is Waddle, complete.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Tagovailoa. He's got it complete to Waddle.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to...
There he goes left side. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
Holding offense.
Wow, Charles, that doesn't just take points off the board. That takes a win off the board.
So now you have to regroup because you've gone from celebrating what you think is a win to trying to figure out how to do it again and make it a win.
Now Tua.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked up by Jonathan Jones.
And the Pats are going to win this football game here in overtime.
A costly mistake here at OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.